Hey, what's happening, guys? Dan Dario here with another Options in Play video update. Um, Very interesting Monday. We have come in with was a slightly more mixed open, but now it's really taking a turn for kind of like a more interesting day, and meaning that we're seeing this really dramatic rotation between money flowing out of tech and into the IWM, so small caps, value, a lot of domestic type names, and this is it's certainly not something unusual. We've seen this plenty of times. But what's interesting to me, and really kind of what I wanted to speak about just quickly, is that it's going to set up some opportunities as we get closer to earnings season, right? So October earnings will start in about 2 weeks, a little bit more than 2 weeks, and tech is usually a little bit after the beginning. As earnings get going, it's usually some banks, some industrial, some healthcare first, and then tech really gets going like maybe like a week or two after, right? So as we start to increasingly get close to October and into October, the focus initially is going to be on those financials, some of the transports, some industrials, right? So like airlines are usually pretty early, but with this move, you're already starting to see some money flow into like the banks, right? I mean, you see like a big move like this in like a name like a J.P. Morgan, right? So, as money is really starting to like rotate around, it's gonna have to be, like you're gonna have to have a game plan in place, right? Because things are really moving pretty quickly. I mean, in terms of like banks, J.P. Morgan seems kind of extended, but then you have like a name like Morgan Stanley, which is really only now getting back into its resistance range, right? So leading stock coming back up to resistance. If the banks do hold on or firm up and consolidate, maybe you'll see like another push as we get closer to earnings, right? So, things are starting to fall into place. The wheels are starting to turn. So when we're looking for like option trades, and as we get closer to earnings season, I'm always kind of hunting for ramp into the reports, right? So prioritizing, right? What's coming up first? What's in that ramp into the report window, which is like 3 to 5, maybe even 7 days if you really want to push it out a little bit. So as October starts to come around, what's on the calendar, right? Where do things stand? Where is like the good numbers from last quarter? Do the charts look good? Is there some momentum, right? Um, but also with tech down, right? That could also set up trades, but just have to be a little bit more patient, in my opinion, right? And this is something we talked about at our option session last week. Is that for me, like a lot of the buy the dips. So when stocks pulled back last week, a lot of my interest was really around tech, just because the tech numbers have been excellent, quarter after quarter after quarter they deliver. So in terms of like buying the dips and like option trades, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks out, still a lot of my focus is going to be on tech, right? I mean, whether it's the mega caps, whether it's the semis, the software, there's been really solid earnings quarter after quarter in that space. And even though they haven't always been up huge on earnings, a lot of times they've been up huge into earnings, right? So some of our best ramp into report trades over the last couple quarters have been these tech names where we're looking 3 to 5, maybe even 7 days out if there's like really compelling action in that space. And we're looking for like those moves higher as people kind of position, right? So like a name like Microsoft, which hasn't they haven't missed in years, right? So, you get a name that's pulled back, has a very, very, very consistent history of beating, right? Also has a consistent history of rallying ahead of earnings, too. So, might not be at the bottom just yet, but as we get into October, right, and you're starting to like kind of like think about positioning for some things, you want to have a list, right? And really recognize that a lot of times, or at least over the last couple quarters, there's been a lot of positioning right ahead of earnings, which has removed some of the volatility on actual earnings. So if you do want to participate, you got to have a game plan because the moves can happen ahead of time. All right. So expecting a busy week, and just like a nice little bridge with got some news going, got some volatility, and before you know it, we're gonna be at the earnings season. Okay. So, if you like this video and you're looking for more information about trading earnings with options or these ramp into reports, which you know me, I love, please follow up with the link in the description of the video for more information on options in play. Hope you have a fantastic night. Stay well, and I'll talk to you all tomorrow.